forest friends, I am excited to begin the process of creating my compost. It is essential for our garden as it enriches the soil with valuable nutrients through the use of discarded organic material. I have accumulated various materials to add to the compost bin, including kitchen scraps and a large amount of fruit and vegetable peels. Additionally, I have more kitchen scraps to contribute. It's interesting to note that even paper towels can be included in the composting process. These items are part of the carbon-based, non-nitrogenous portion. These leftovers from the garden, the leaves of fennel, all of this is made up of green material. Here is the dry matter alternative. This material is obtained through the use of a bioshredder. Compost is formed by combining various types of organic matter. It is recommended to mix together the green and yellow components, with the yellow representing the fresher part that includes our kitchen scraps along with a drier portion. It's important to achieve a balance between the yellow and green elements. The green part contains a higher concentration of nitrogen, while the yellow part contains a larger amount of carbon. The more diverse materials we introduce into our compost, the richer and more varied it becomes, making it highly beneficial for the growth of our plants. To construct the compost bin using pallets, I chose this particular method because pallets are sturdy platforms commonly used for moving goods. This method offers several advantages. Firstly, it allows for a well-organized anti-decomposting process. Moreover, it provides convenience in managing the composting materials and promotes the necessary intake of oxygen for efficient decomposition. In order to maintain the compost at the appropriate moisture level, I have also designed a lid. It is crucial for the compost to avoid becoming overly dry or excessively wet, as excessive water would hinder the decomposition process. This lid serves the purpose of maintaining the ideal moisture balance for effective composting. Gathered all the material to fill my compost bin, and I believe it is best to accumulate it first, like a pre-composting process. Then, when we are ready to create our cubic meter of compost, we can add everything in one go. To achieve this, I will be filling the compost bin in layers. The initial layer will consist of dry material, which will act as a drain at the bottom. Let's go with the dry material. At the bottom, I'm going to put some sprigs of broom that has dried up this year. Dry layer. This is material that I composted already, pre-composted in the spring. I put it on the bottom. Some garden waste. These are fennel leaves and thistle leaves. Leek leaves. For the dry, a little bit of leaves. Now I also put in some soil, which with its microorganisms acts as an activator. There are some things, however, that are good to avoid, especially among kitchen scraps. It is good not to include meat scraps, for example, because they would go into different processes and because they would attract animals. So we stay on the vegetable. Off with the cooking materials. To counteract the excessive dampness in the kitchen, I have introduced a substantial amount of wood chips that I derived from the bioshredder. Very effective indeed. Dry. We're going to cover everything here. To properly decompose eggshells, it is crucial to thoroughly shred them because they naturally take a considerable amount of time to break down. If you wish to avoid attracting mice to your neighborhood, it is advisable to refrain from tossing out cheese peels. In addition, any wild grasses or weeds that you have eradicated from your garden can also be added to your compost. You can even include grass clippings from your lawn to contribute to the nutrient-rich mixture. I realized that I'm missing some dry material, the carbonaceous stuff. I have more nitrogen than carbon, so I add dry. Carbon-rich materials that can be utilized include paper and cardboard. It is important to be cautious of cardboards that have been recycled multiple times, as they will have a gray color that serves as an indicator. These cardboards are excessively abundant in glue. Additionally, one should also exercise caution with kitchen papers that contain colored inks. This is the middle ground. They are brambles, so it is a wood. However, there are also dry leaves. You can also put a little ash in the compost, which is rich in minerals, so it will enrich the end result. Little is always very little. However, there's no need to worry, as anything organic that you place in this container will undergo decomposition and become compost, rendering it completely unrecognizable. As you may observe, I am preparing a lasagna with distinct layers, one dry and one moist. My intention is to evenly and thoroughly distribute the fresh ingredients throughout the entire dish, ensuring that they are not concentrated in one specific area. We are almost well on our way. I'm going to have to mash a little bit now, though. It's gone down quite a bit, and I still want to put it in. I believe we have reached our desired destination, even though the container is not completely full. Let's say I have now achieved a good and sufficient amount, and within a short period of time, the bacteria should begin to raise the temperature. If the composting process is successful, you will notice a rise in temperature after you have added all the necessary materials. The temperature should reach around 50 to 60 degrees. This increase in temperature is crucial in deactivating any harmful pathogens. I can aid the fermentation process by incorporating various additives, such as water, sugar, brewer's yeast, or even sourdough. Additionally, after some time, it will be necessary to turn over the entire compost pile. And to accomplish this, I will open one side of the bin and flip the material. By doing so, the volume of the compost will significantly decrease. I intend to maintain this process for a duration of at least 4 months. Creating compost is of utmost importance for 2 key reasons. Firstly, it allows us to obtain the highest quality fertilizer for our vegetables, ensuring their optimal growth and health. Secondly, by composting at home, we are able to prevent the creation of enormous waste mountains that would burden our public institutions. If each individual is capable of creating their own compost, we can utilize this valuable resource while also protecting the environment from pollution. I would love to hear about your composting practices and will update you on the progress of my own compost bin. Stay tuned for the next video.